Greetings, YouTube. Once again, happy Tuesday. I promised many people for about a week that I would review the best and the worst of the 4-star dungeon crystals, and I honestly just have not had time. But that is about to change as we are now in a position to go ahead and review these things. I do want to say, as just a point of order before we do that, if you are close to the magic number of 15 or 16 5-star crystals to get a 5-star dungeon crystal purchase, I would just hoard. Just go against Kabam Mike and hoard all of your dungeon artifacts. You can hoard, I think, over 50,000 of those. And just be patient. If you have 3 or 4 5 stars, or maybe even 5 or 6, I get wanting 4 stars instead. But in the long run, you'll be so thankful that you bought the free 5-star instead of the free 4-star. But with that being said, you can buy 2 out of 2 of these instead of the 3-star 5 out of 5, and of course instead of the 5-star 1 out of 1 purchase limit. So we're going to go through, and just like the 5 stars, we're going to say, is the champion a stud, a dud, or a game-changing champion? And the 4-star chaos starts out with a absolute game. Red Hulk is a stud for sure. Morningstar is a stud. Dormammu is a stud. Venom the Duck is a stud / borderline game-changing champion. I've seen so much incredible Venom the Duck gameplay, especially in variant. Spider-Man Symbiote, I think, is more stud than dud. Vulture, I'll say, is a dud. Red Skull, dud. Moon Knight, dud. And Taskmaster, somewhere between stud or dud. But this is a very solid crystal, especially if you need Omega Red or Venom the Duck as a 4-star. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a B+ grade, very solid for your 9,000 dungeon artifacts. Now we're going to move to the Nightmare Crystal. Killmonger is almost a game changer, but somewhere between stud and game changer. Emma Frost, same thing, somewhere between a stud and a game changer. Hulk, more stud than dud. MODOK, more stud than dud. Mephisto, more stud than dud. Symbiote Supreme, absolutely close to game changer as well. Hela is somewhere between stud and dud. Superior Iron Man, dud. Doc Ock, somewhere between stud and dud. And Howard the Duck, dud. This is maybe not the same flash as the previous one with Omega Red and Venom the Duck, but I still think the Nightmare Crystal is solid. I'm not going to give it a B+, though. I'm going to give it a low B, like an 83%. Now we're going to move to the 4-star Genesis Crystal. Starts out with Ghost. If you know how to fight with Ghost the proper way, the right way, right? Especially with synergies, she is a game changer. Black Widow is a stud. Bishop is a dud. Storm's a dud. Spider-Gwen is a stud. Wasp with synergies with Ghost especially is a stud. Juggernaut, dud. Iron Fist, dud. Satan herself, dud. Venom, stud. I think this one overall is the worst of the bunch because it just has so many misses that you can get. So I'm going to give this a low C. If you get Ghost, of course, this is well worth it. And Venom is amazing as well. Spider-Gwen, of course, is heavily improved, but there's so many duds in this, especially like Storm and Juggernaut and Satan herself. I'm going to give this like a 73. I'm going to give that a low C. Now we're going to evolve with this next crystal. Medusa used to be a game changer. I still think she's very good, somewhere between stud and game changer. Nebula is a stud. Hawkeye is a stud. Korg, stud. Domino, true game changer. Cable, somewhere between stud and dud. Spider-Man Classic, somewhere between stud and dud. Electro, somewhere between stud and dud. Guillotine is a stud, and Thor Jane Foster will say is a dud. This is a much better overall crystal. In fact, you could argue this has the least amount of misses, quote-unquote, of any crystal we've looked at. I'm going to give this a B+ as well. I think between Korg and Domino and Medusa and Nebula and Hawkeye, I mean, you've got, even with Electro and Guillotine, you've got like 60 to 70% of champions that you should be pretty dang excited to get, especially if you don't have them in your roster, or if you need to awaken somebody like Medusa or Korg, it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to be able to be a little bit higher on this. I'm going to say it's an A-. I'm going to say the Evolution Crystal gets my highest grade so far. Now we're going to go to the War Crystal. Magic, game changer for power control. Drax, dud. Ultron, stud. Sentinel, stud. Winter Soldier, dud. Crossbone, stud. Beast, dud. Old Balls Logan, dud. Abomination, dud. And Yellow Jacket, dud. Yuck. This is the worst that we have seen. Magic, Ultron, and Sentinel are all solid. And yeah, of course, you have some good champs with synergies, particularly Winter Soldier with Killmonger. But in general, there are so many misses on this, and the ceiling of this is not good at all. I'm going to give this a D+, the War Crystal. Stay away from this one unless you want to cause your emotions war. Now we're going to the Death Crystal. Void, game changer. Dr. Voodoo, somewhere between game changer and stud. Amazing. Heimdall, great for synergies, not much else. Groot, dud. Yondu, stud. Iron Man, dud. OG Black Panther, somewhere between dud and stud. Thor Ragnarok, somewhere between stud and dud as well. Magneto, dud. And Nightcrawler for defense. I mean, I guess I'm going to go ahead and say Nightcrawler's closer to stud than dud. I've really enjoyed my 6-star gameplay. But again, this one's got a couple of amazing champs in Void and Dr. Voodoo, and then a lot of meh champs. I think this is a B-. We're going to call this an 80% on the Death Crystal. And that concludes all the 4 stars. And I do think that my money is on this one. The Evolution Crystal is by far the best of the 4-star bunch. If you don't have most of these champs, you're going to love it. And I have to say, even if you quote-unquote miss, I still really enjoy playing with Thor Jane Foster, right? Cable has some utility, even on defense. I see Cable every once in a while as an Alliance War boss, and he gets some kills. So I don't think there's a terrible champion in this. Spider-Man Classic Awakened is still a great defender, and Unawakened it can still be a lot of fun to do an attack. So this is the only crystal out of everything that I really don't see somebody that I would just be depressed if I landed on. There's no Old Balls or Satan herself or Groot, you know. So yeah, I highly recommend the Evolution Crystal. But as I said at the beginning, if you're somebody that is so close to getting enough 5 stars to see the 5-star dungeon crystals, just hoard these dungeon artifacts and then spend them when you get the opportunity to purchase a 5-star. You'll be so thankful you had the patience. This game is all about patience, and the 4-star dungeon crystal is another example of that. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a great Tuesday.